understand these people. These people in the media, they are either stupid or they are completely blinded by their ideology or they're delusional, or more than likely, it's a combination of all three. Deacons at Woke United Methodists, along with their pretend friends in the mainstream media, they cannot seem to figure out why cackling Cam Harris lost the election. Now, notice I didn't say they can't seem to figure out how the Trumper won. The deacons cannot figure out how they lost, even though people like me have been pointing out their problems for years now. Even though Clay Travis literally told them to their faces yesterday. They either don't believe us or their head is caught so far up their ass they have been blinded by their own boodle breeze. Right now, the media is pretending to be concerned with misinformation, or as they sometimes call it, disinformation. Who knows? In the interest of diversity, maybe they will start calling it cisinformation. But either way, the media is pretending to be concerned about lies. They are pretending to be concerned about propaganda. But it's ironic because this concern, it only applies to conservative media. That concern only applies to YouTubers, podcasters. The media damn sure isn't concerned about their own lies or their own propaganda. Wednesday night, our good friend Rachel Maddow was hosting her polished turd on MSNBC. Well, Casey, what do you mean? I thought Rach only worked on Monday nights. Recently, Rach worked out a new deal with MSNBC. Now, as you guys know, Rach is one hell of a negotiator. Rachel Maddow was able to negotiate an amazing deal for herself. Instead of working one night a week, Rach is committed to working 5 nights a week. What makes this even better, she also agreed to massively increase her workload while making $5 million per year less. Clearly, Rachel Maddow has never read The Art of the Deal. I'm sure the object of her devotion, Donnie Trump, would let her borrow a copy. But Wednesday night, Rach is hosting her polished turd, talking about the latest designated enemy in the mainstream media, Elon Musk. Now, according to Rachel Maddow, Elon Musk has convinced the Trumper to spend $400 million on armored Teslas. According to Rach, the Trumper is giving Elon $400 million of your tax dollars. This is corruption! I told you the Trumper was colluding with Elon. That money could have been sent to France to turn Pierre into Priscilla. There was just one problem with Rachel Maddow's theory, one tiny problem. The Trumper isn't the one that negotiated this deal with Elon Musk. The $400 million that Elon Musk was given from the federal government, that deal, it was negotiated by our former fearless leader, Johnny B. Biden. But you're not going to hear that from Rachel Maddow. You're not going to hear that from Little Red Riding Hood, Jen Psaki. You're damn sure not going to hear it from the wicked weed Joy Reid. I mean, why let those pesky facts get in the way of pushing the agenda? While MSNBC ratings have rebounded a little bit since November and December, they are still not close to their previous averages. Third quarter of last year, which were the months leading up to the election, Joy Reid was averaging 1.6 million viewers. So far this month, our favorite balding beauty, she's averaging 987,000. The numbers were even worse in January for the couple of days where ratings are available, but for some reason, MSNBC ratings were only made available for 2 or 3 days in January. I wonder why. With MSNBC struggling, you would think they would make some changes. But as you're about to see, nothing has changed at MSNBC. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Link to the second channel's in the description below. Today on the second channel, talked about Clay Travis roasting Pete Buttigieg. So if you haven't already, head over to the second channel and subscribe. Wednesday night, the artist formerly known as Weave had Hakeem Jeffries on her show to talk about public enemy number 1, Elon Musk. Now, according to the Balding Beauty, there is no point in Congress passing a budget because Congress no longer controls the money. Our money is now being controlled by Elon Musk. Well, that's kind of confusing. I thought Elon Musk was the one that is saving us billions of dollars. I thought Elon Musk was investigating all the wasteful spending. He just saved us several $1,000,000 in Guatemala by refusing to pay for Rhonda to become Rodriguez. I don't know about you guys, but if that's what Joy Reid considers Elon Musk controlling our money, I'm fine with it. During her conversation with Hakeem Olajuwon, Joy Reid found an interesting way to mention Mother Russia. Well, KC, what the hell does Elon Musk have to do with Vlad Putin? I have no idea. If Joy Reid was going to associate anyone with President Putin, you would think it would be the whoopee cushion. But for some reason, Joy Reid is under the impression that Elon Musk controlling our money could lead to Donald Trump selling the entire country to Mother Russia. Watch for yourself.
What's the point of passing a budget if Republicans have already conceded that they're not in charge, that Congress is not in charge of spending money, Elon Musk is? What's the point of passing a budget if it's really Elon Musk's decision whether that budget is adhered to? If Donald Trump announced tomorrow that he was selling the United States to Vladimir Putin personally and that we will now be owned by the Kremlin, every single Republican would say, yes, sir, and vote for it. We already have seen their behavior.
I wonder why people aren't watching this garbage. Joy Reid really expects me to believe that every Republican in Congress would approve America being sold to Russia because Donald Trump said so? When was the illusion of Russian collusion disproven? 5, maybe 6 years ago? The supposed collusion between Donald Trump and Vlad Putin, that has been proven false. Yet for some reason, MSNBC just can't seem to let it go. Joy Reid's not the only one struggling at MSNBC. Big Red Joy Behar's TV daughter, Little Red, she is struggling too. Last year, Jen Psaki, she was averaging 1.4 million viewers. This year, our friend Jen, she's got that number down to a cool 906,000. Earlier this week, she was a guest on The Weekly Show with Jon Stewart. It used to be called The Daily Show, but Jon Stew, he was able to take Rachel Maddow's old deal away from her, so now he's only working 1 day a week. God forbid Jon Stew allows Travis Noah to host this show again, then it will go back to being called The Daily Show a failure. All kidding aside, though, The Weekly Show, it is Jon Stewart's podcast. Earlier this week, he invited Jen Psaki on the show to explain why Democrats lost the election. Now, as a woke welfare collector at MSNBC, it is literally Jen Psaki's job to know why cackling Cam Harris lost. And if she didn't know, all she had to do was call Uncle KC. But instead of calling me, Jen Psaki provided a list of excuses as to why cackling Cam lost. While she was lying about the reason Cam lost, Jen Psaki, she unintentionally provided the real reason that Democrats continue to be a huge embarrassing failure. See if you can catch it. Watch for yourself.
It's misinformation and disinformation. And that's not just, everybody shorthands this as, if Democrats only appeared on Joe Rogan's podcast. I'm like, I'm not sure. I don't know that he's inviting many. Maybe he is, but that's not the only answer. I think there's a lot of layers of it. It's also the kind of candidates people run. That's not a hack on Kamala Harris. I mean, in different races as well. And sometimes there have been purity tests in the Democratic Party that aren't particularly constructive. The purity test should be, can you win?
Do you think the Democratic Party is principled?
I do think that, and sometimes I don't want to say too principled because that is not a good thing to say. Mm-hmm. But I think principled, yes.
Now, Jen Psaki just gave you the reason cackling Cam lost without meaning to give you the reason cackling Cam lost. Jon Stew asked Little Red if she thought that deacons at Woke United Methodist were principled. Jen Psaki said yes. And she's absolutely right. The deacons stand on their principles. How many times have we talked about them preaching the good word and spreading the woke faith? How many times have we talked about the woke commandments and the woke Bible? The deacons are principled. The problem is America has rejected their principles. One of their principles is open borders. They invited people all over the world to attend the Butt Bongo Festival. America said that principle was no bueno. The deacons wanted to defund the police. Remember when they wanted to replace cops with social workers? Don't call the police, call social worker Shanice. America said that principle was no bueno. The deacons wanted to eliminate toxic masculinity by having men become women. They want Dan to become Fran, Bill to become Jill. And in my opinion, that is where they lost the election. It is the same mistake that the progressive movement always makes. They take their progress too far. One of the main reasons that cackling Cam Harris lost, and look, it was not just cackling Cam. It could have been Johnny B. Biden, could have been Gabby Newsom, the governor of the People's Republic of California. It did not matter who was running. They were going to lose. One of the main reasons they lost the support of men. Obviously, they lost the support of white dudes like me a long time ago, but because they pushed their gender ideology so far, they ended up losing the support of black dudes, Latino men, Asian men, all men. Clay Travis explained this perfectly earlier this week. I don't care what race you are, men want the same thing. Men want to be providers. Men want to be perceived as strong. And men will only vote for someone they can relate to. Say what you want about Donald Trump. The one thing that you cannot take away from the Trumper, he is one tough bastard. You know who relates to toughness? Men. Who do the Democrats have that men can relate to? You really think dudes are relating to AOC? She can get their attention in a bikini, but as soon as she opens her mouth, she talks herself into being the ugly duckling. You really think dudes are relating to Charles Schumer? Chucky! You think men are relating to Petey Buttigieg, Rachel Levine, Dylan Mulvaney, Leah Thomas? You think men are relating to a movement that is trying to turn their sons into their daughters? It was not misinformation. It wasn't disinformation. It wasn't misogyny. It wasn't mythical racism. You could go through every woke boner word in the woke dictionary. That is not the reason you lost. You lost because you pushed it too far. If you know your history, then you already know this is exactly what happens every time with the progressive movement. It's why I call it the woke fungus. The woke fungus is designed to destroy, and it always destroys itself. Give me your thoughts on this. Joy Reid, Jen Psaki improved their ratings, but they are still struggling to reach their previous averages. Media cannot figure out why they lost. Give me your reason. Why did the woke movement fail? Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.